But yeah, scripts is Java. Sorry, yeah, JavaScript, not Java. My bad. I am horribly guilty of just saying Java when I mean JavaScript. Horribly guilty. Like it's on the level of you know, the whole thing with me saying left or right. Assume I meant the other one. For some reason, the same thing happens with JavaScript and Java for me. If I say Java and I seem confident, assume I mean JavaScript, and vice versa. If I just straight up say, yeah, it's written in JavaScript, and I carry on as if, you know, not a care, assume I meant Java. I'm terrible for it. I'm the other way around. Why not just call it Emacs? I don't know. Why do anything happen as they do? I'm going to blame the Wanderer, who was always traveling towards the east, and wherever he went, I simply knew I had to follow. That's the reason I'm going to go with. If in doubt, blame Mysterious Wanderer. But yeah, if you're interested in it, I strongly recommend you look up th_Pion's videos. Really, really good. Super accessible. And if I were to ever stream or do a series on it, I probably would. It would probably more likely be a series because I would be able to cut out time and do time lapses. I think anything with scripts would benefit enormously from the kind of post-production editing polish that I can put onto a video over a stream. Did you used to just quote the opening to Diablo 2? Of course I did. You don't need to be Tyrael to be able to tell that. Man, I remember. I still have my. I got a box when I was far too young to actually be playing it, but I got a box of Diablo 2, so I've got the instruction manual. I love the poetry in it. Still remember some of it. Right, at this point, I want... Actually, you know what? Why am I making this so much harder on myself than it needs to be? Because of this, I can just dig in now and then just rebuild behind myself. That's not going to be a problem at all anymore. Uh-oh, that is a problem, though. Have you done any theatre? The left and right thing could come from that. No more than is kind of just typically expected you to do if you go to a Welsh school. I'm not sure how much theatre people are expected to have done. Like, you know, is there an elective in some schools? I think it must be. It's not as much of an elective in a Welsh school. And not strictly theatre either, but, you know, you're expected to... I don't know. Singing is much less about music and much more about continuing the oral tradition of our forebears. There's nothing as permanent as a temporary solution. That is such a good saying. Quite a few people actually play scripts using TypeScript. Okay, everything is still working all right in here. How are the batteries doing? Not great though. Not great. Oh, has this gone dormant? It has. All right. And this room has finally emptied everything out. Right, okay, so we no longer need this, which means we can save on a bit of power, which is always good. Tonk. There we are. And now I want to just pull out the wires. There we go. That does not need... Why is that a 9? Why is that an 8? Actually, let's not make it a 5. Let's make it a 7. In my high school, I have something called stagecraft, as it was all the backstage workings, and that was fun to do. Oh, actually sounds really good, yeah. Right, let's have a look. The temperature in here is going to be garbage for a little while, and that's going to be completely normal. Get it over there as well. Right, let's make sure that more or less everything in here is a 7. Once again. All 7s. I want this whole place to be ready before we wrap up today's stream. Next, we're going to want a steam turbine. That will sit here. Realistically speaking, I don't actually want to ever have to go back in here. I could empty out the room. Like, slowly work my way in and then build my way back up. Actually, one way of doing it to create a complete vacuum, but then you've got to create a water lock to get in there. Okay. I'm going to... Oh, okay, I can't copy that now because I've gotten rid of it. That makes sense, I suppose. But if we put this here, along with a gas pump, doesn't need to be one that can handle high temperatures, though ideally, well, to be honest, I've got 11,000 steel. I may as well pop that there. What did I make this out of? It doesn't actually matter because its overheat value is going to be so much higher. A gas vent, we'll make it out of steel as well because why not? Right there. And then we will control this probably with a switch. Just have a switch there. Piped across. There we go. This will allow hydrogen in. I can create a little room that I can put hydrogen in, rather than have to pump it all the way down from somewhere else. But equally, I could just do that. I could just take a little bit out of my spawn, pump it down here, just branch it off, fill that, and then empty back out again. That will give me everything I'm going to need to empty this out. We would want a high pressure gas valve just there. And then a simple pump. There we go. I'll do the rest in a moment. I did drama in college because I needed an elective, and it seemed like the most fun. I did get to go and see Avenue Q for free, to write a report on it, so that was good at least. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Take care, Zakar. Thanks for dropping by, mate. Ridiculous banner. About 4 hours since the last tea break. Ooh, good call. Very good call. My lord, how did that slip by? Alright. Well, I know why it slipped by, because we started talking about coding. Ah, my one weakness. Alright, well, we have many things to do. I'm going to want to run this across. Do I want this on a... I kind of want this to vent out, actually. So, I'm just going to set this up so that hopefully they can get a bunch of stuff done while I'm away. That would be grand. Truly. We're going to have this right about here. Heading straight up, and they can connect up into the backbone there. As the rest of it, I would like very much to run through and out. How much is on this wire? That is... yeah, there's easily going to be enough for me to have a thermo-aquatuner on this. Thermo-aquatuner. Ooh. Oh, wow. Hang on. No. No. It's only ever going to be in water. I don't need it to be able to handle crazy temperatures. Furthermore, it requires 1,200 of the stuff. So yes, I could make the thermo-aquatuner out of thermium. But why? No. Okay, we'll pop this in about here, I think. Will I cool this room? Yes, I'm going to say we'll use this to cool this room. I may as well. And I'll just keep that at the same temperature as I keep the main body. That'll be fine. That will be fine. Have this empty out about here. Probably use sandstone just coming straight down. And in... I will add in an additional pipe so that I can add water into the system should I need to at a later date. And we'll hook this one up with power. Okay. Right, I'm going to allow the duplicants to derp for a bit, I think. Shelly is still stressed. I'm not going to tell Shelly to go and have a massage and then leave you watching Shelly. That seems like it would be very, very unfair of me. I apologize, but coding is so fun to talk about. No, I completely agree. I completely agree. Right, okay, so I'm going to save this. We're going to go on a tea break. I urge you to do the same. If you've been sat with me this whole time, then you need it at least as much as I do. And we will return very, very soon. And while I'm away, who do we want to follow? We tried to follow Shelly last time. That did not go so well. How about we follow a hauler? Actually, let's follow our builder. Who's our builder? Do we have a builder? Yes, we do. Snowfoot. Snowfoot, we're following you, Snowfoot. There we go. That is jarring. That is so jarring. Womp. I don't know. That feels a little bit jarring, I'm going to be honest. But you're going to have to watch Snowfoot whilst I go and grab something to drink. Be back soon. Alright, so In my absence, they have managed to finish most of the building, actually. I am remarkably impressed. Yep. Now, I do still need to hook up a decent amount of the piping, but this is coming together very quickly. I'm happy about that. Now, the problem with this section is the larger I make it, the slower it will be to fill. But the larger I make it, the more... the gentler the transition of temperatures will become, and also the easier of a time I will have moving piping through it. So, I think. Nosferatu Light, thank you very much for the 11 months, mate. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Well, I'm going to allow them to just crack on with it. They still haven't even broken this down yet, which is kind of shocking me. That being said, you're quite right. We are going on a quite circuitous route around all of this. So, thank you so much, Sheila. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Let's grab... Where is it? Where are you? Where on earth is that component? There we are. Tonk. We're going to place this right down here. Yep. And since I more or less know that I'm going to be coming straight down in this direction, I may as well do this. Right, let's dig all of that up. We'll carry that on up, and we'll have a ladder continue the rest of the way up here. There you go. Now, if I make that a high priority, we are going to dramatically improve the speed that we can build things, so let's make that a thing. And you know what? Rather than just talking about it, I am going to try and employ the system that we briefly discussed. I think 2 will be more than enough. So I'm going to have one set to hold the minerals I'm most likely to use, one set to hold the metals I'm most likely to use. The other things I'll just grab as and when. I don't mind if they have to travel to grab those, but minerals and metals are probably a big thing. Actually, let's not make it in here because I know for a fact that I'm going to be doing things there. In fact, how about I just only take apart the parts that I need to take apart. We'll keep those there. This will make things a lot easier for my builders because my haulers will be able to help them load up all the materials. Hey. Printables, let's see what we got. Sure, okay, I'm going to add to the ridiculous amounts of tonnage of sandstone we have. What could possibly go wrong? How it Oh, they're actually doing quite well. Well, I say they're doing quite well. They're probably not that. Down to 92 in here. It is drained clear. The CO2 is not allowing the transfer of temperature very well at all. If I wanted to transfer that all the way down, I would probably need temp shift plates all the way. But then I might struggle with that overheating my the farm tiles here. But right now, it's a nice place for the phosphorite. The phosphite to go. Is it phosphite? Click on them. Phosphite, yeah. Which we've been building up for a little while simply because we've got Dracos. And they're eating, so they are pooping, even if they are not regrowing their scales. Alright, let's get this finished as well. All the way up. And then this all the way up as well. Get that done as an 8. Okay, we are going to need these to be moved, simply so that this doesn't cause any kind of weird interaction. But once that is broken down into an aluminium tile, I will be looking to get a pip over here to plant. We'll have somewhere for seeds, and somewhere for pips. And also a door. One of those is also very necessary. Made out of gold, because of course our pneumatic door is made out of gold. Why wouldn't it be? Right, okay, so this is going to be a 7. I would like this one to be the metal ores. Gold amalgam, aluminium, and copper. Gold, oh. No steel. Interesting. Very interesting. This will then be the mineral. Bring down some ceramic, granite, igneous rock. That's 7 as well. Now, I'm not sure if the haulers will actually haul down here from a storage spot, but we'll see. In fact, let's find a hauler and see what they're doing. What's it up to? Storing clay. Okay, fair enough. Well, quite a few of you moving that around. More clay. Okay, fair enough. There's going to be clay all over the place as well, which is kind of annoying, but we do have a lot of air purifiers going on. Working, rather. Manu, let's have a look at Talk. Relaxing on the beach. You know what? Maybe following my haulers isn't the right choice. Oh well. At least we're starting to get this filled out. Once that's done, it's going to be significantly easier for them to move about. How are we doing for power? Those 3 are active. We're not running our coal generators, but everything else is running. That being said, our petroleum generators, we have got all 5 of them running. That just shut down the petroleum generators. So that's no longer going to be feeding any more energy into them. And because I'm shutting off the valves rather than the generators themselves. So it gives a little bit more time for stuff to happen there. Still haven't finished this, my lord. Okay, let's get that done. 7. It's the new 9. Have we got any more super... Yeah, we've got 200 kilos of supercoolant. Maybe I could go out and grab another bit of fullerene. There's a vacuum over here at the very least, so I mean there is that. Alternatively, I could just empty out all of the material here. Got many tons of... Oh my lord, that is a lot. Okay. Has this been reloaded? Yep. Okay, let's pull this back in. I am going to set this to sweep all. I'm going to allow it to take everything, and I'm going to tell them to sweep this up because I would actually really like to just get that clean. Once that's clean, we're good. For now, anyway. I'm not sure what we're going to use the supercoolant for yet, though. I wonder. No. And then there's a little part of me that's like, well, I mean, we could... I'm building this right now. What if we filled the tank with supercoolant? Like, 3 floors worth of supercoolant tank would be glorious. But it would also take me about another 2,000 cycles to make. How many builders do I have? 1. But the way I work my skills is... Where's my digger? My digger's also secondary in building. Actually, my mechatronics is also in there. They basically all share the same thing, but they have different focuses. So mechatronics is operating, building is building, digging is digging, and then the other two they have like a secondary priority. So they will have their preferred job, but they will also do the other work as well. Ooh, not new logger. I've added a new entry to my log. Cycle 2000. I occasionally find myself contemplating just how long eternity really is. Oh dear. Oops. I didn't know that was a thing. I think the game is telling me I'm slow. Scalawag game. How dare you call me out like this? Well, that one's internet, which says you have none, but a stream runs. Yeah, it's pretty impressive internet. Let's put it down to quantum entanglement, shall we? That's what I intend to blame at the very least. Right, is there anything more to do over here? I do believe, chat, that it may be that we have finally finished. Let's deconstruct that. Eldritch Internet. Ah. What terrible things you have done. Makes it better when it said I had internet. I cut out. Yeah, I'm gonna say your internet has seen things. It knows things that perhaps it shouldn't know, and it has paid a terrible price for this knowledge. Speaking about old poems from Diablo that I enjoyed, one does come to mind. Should I grab this wolframite? I really should, actually. Let's grab this wolframite. a surprise work assignment, so now I can catch the last half of the stream. Hey, Raging Aavak. Having internet is not a simple thing to define. Part of the internet's resiliency is that it's hard to say when you've actually lost it. Oh, glorious. Such good tea. Patino decay over there. For now I find this power gained is more unto a curse. My spirit burns with every spell and each irreverent verse. Despite this strength and knowledge earned, I've paid a hefty toll. Never should have traded power for my own immortal soul. Or very loud plastic machines. That, too, should not have traded for. Perhaps you could trade an arm for very loud plastic machines, but your soul really shouldn't have been traded for it. Hooray! Right, I now want... Well, we've definitely got molten lavas up there. And these can now be molten lava eggs as well. Alright, we are at this stage more or less switching over entirely to molten slicksters. I will allow any type of slickster in them, but I prefer for the molten ones. At this stage, it seems sensible to switch over, pretty much. Body temperature is fine. And they'll eventually die because they won't have the kind of temperature they want. But right now, it's perfect. It does more and more and more of them. Eventually, all we'll be pulling from this is petroleum. It's still not full, sadly, but oh well. Right, let's find Snowfoot. What are you up to? You're using the toilet. Kind of an awful time to check in on you, honestly. I'm not having the best of luck with it today, chat. I'm gonna be honest. Kind of wishing that I had a better sense for when to check. Okay. You're eating now. That's fine. Go ahead, gobble down the food. Ooh, also, floral scent. Perfect. That will be keeping people's general moods up very high. Deliver some more suits if you could. There's dirt on the way somewhere. I have no idea where they just went. Have we got somewhere where they can compost them, or are they just dumping it? Where are you going? Oh, to Scooby. Oh, unless they're... Well, no, they can't be putting it in there. Okay, I need to know where you're taking this. Show me. I must know. Oh, you went up. My bad. Okay, and... right. Okay. So, no more. My bad. Really liked it. You know what? The polluted dirt can just eventually empty out up there. We can't go out anyway right now, so it means we'll wait. Gold amalgam being brought in. Hey, Lady She-Lab. Then aside my goal of being a scallywag for a moment, in the quest to get Sheila partner is 10 100-bit cheers better, or 1 1000-bit cheer. I think Sheila... Yeah, there we are. I got partner initiated on YouTube now. Just got to keep it over that 1000 sub mark until they check the channel. They say it could take up to a month, so I guess it is sitting in a queue somewhere now. Yeah. As far as bits go, though, when it comes to cheers, they are, like, 1 bit is exactly, like, 1 1000-bit cheer is exactly the same as 1000 1-bit cheers. The only time where the amount cheered matters is when it comes to hype trains, I believe. Because you need 200 bits, or is it 100 bits? I can't remember. To be eligible to join a hype train. And it has to be in one go, rather than spread across 200 cheers. Can I zoom out on the map? Of course I can. Sure. There you go. It's 100 bits. Thank you very much, Sankiri. Printables available. There are always new printables available, though. Oh, picked up some copper. Nice. Ah, there we go. We're actually starting to fill things in. Very nice. I love how they're grabbing stuff from up here. What? Damn it! Ah! We're okay. Where is Snowfoot? I want to know what you're up to. Construction supply. Oh, you're taking care of these. Nice, okay. Life support supply. Build insulated tiles. Very nice. Okay, let's get more of this on the go, shall we? There we are. Now you're supplying construction materials to what exactly are we building over here? Oh, ladders, of course, yeah. Okay, so it's actually starting to pan out the way that I wanted it to. We are storing materials over here, which means that when the time comes, building all of this is going to be a lot easier. Well, I mean, we don't know that the asteroid is rectangular. We only know that the cavity in, well, or the space inside that is a neutronium is rectangular. I mean, it could be a spherical asteroid. Also, realistically, it's a chunk of planet Earth that got blown off, from what I can understand. So it's not quite, you know, a regular shape to begin with. Getting all of these done relatively quickly, which is kind of surprising considering other jobs of a high priority aren't being done. At the very least, these transport tubes are now actually starting to really pay off. With Two wastewater pools. It's full of polluted water and regular water. This one has got much more of a sink from other things. Oh, is that... I may need to clear that up. Just to make sure that this doesn't get clogged. That's the only reason. How's the water down here? 12 degrees on this side. 20, 40, 30. Wow, okay. Oh, of course, yeah. We're dropping very hot things in here. There's 22.8 tons of igneous rock that came straight out of the volcano, which even now is only 82.9 degrees. There is a reason why this water is so hot. If I ran the cooling system over here, I actually think that I would not be doing myself a favor. Like, I lived in the United States, and as such, there's not a lot of good tea choices. Could you recommend some good brands to give me a true red coat experience? Well, as a Welshman rather than an Englishman, I'm not actually sure I could do that. But nevertheless, brands is a difficult one. I could tell you of the blends that I like, but brands I couldn't really describe to you. I quite like oolong. I mean, it's especially fond of Lapsang Souchong. And, you know, yeah, sure, it's a bit cliched, but it's still a goodie. I enjoy Earl Grey, though Lady Grey is quite nice as well. I know a lot of people who don't get on with Earl Grey, but do quite enjoy Lady Grey. If you want something which to my palate is perhaps a little bit mild, Ceylon is nice. Yeah, that should start you off. It's a bit hard to offer too much advice though until I have an idea of the sort of palate of the person that I'm advising. Oh, there's poor frozen core. Still, we've got over half the map of frozen core left to go, so we should be okay. Oh yeah, that was another. We had another cool steam vent right down here in the frozen core. Right beneath a volcano, and another cool steam. We will never run out of water for any reason whatsoever forever. It'll never happen. We're good to go. Oh, there we go. We're getting this built. Fantastic news. I'm going to start using the heavy watt wire that is particularly heavy.